Well, hey y'all, and welcome to the Hillbilly Chicken Ranch. I'm Susan, your hostess, and today we are rescuing this. Do y'all remember this? This is the failed overproofed bread. It came out thin, it didn't split like it was supposed to and expand. It's gummy, it's hard, and what am I going to do? I'm not throwing it away. We turned that overproofed bread into something truly, truly delicious. And we have an extra meal for another day. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Yum, yum. This is the ultimate rescue. Clean out your fridge recipe. So, y'all, you got to try it. For this Hillbilly Strata, it is savory, custardy, salty sweet because of the ham that was leftovers, and it will be golden brown and bubbly delicious from that cheese. A quick tip is to wet down the crusty part of your bread, the bottom, because it's going to be hard to cut through otherwise. And just slice down like that. Cut it in half and then cube it. So about 1/2 inch to 1 inch pieces. I've got my peppers and onions over here sauteing, and I'm just going to turn the skillet off at this point because they're starting to get translucent, and let them come off of temperature. Now I've cracked more eggs than the recipe calls for. It calls for 6 eggs. Where did I see it? I believe the recipe called for 6 eggs, but I'm going to go with 9. I want a little more custard in mine, so I've already cracked my eggs. I'm going to go ahead and get them broke up. And I've also pulled 3 cups of milk. I'm going to go with the 2.5 cups that the recipe called for, and just reserve that extra half cup of milk in case I need it. The reason I'm making this is I want to make sure that that bread is good and saturated. So the extra eggs and the little extra milk may be what I need. 1/2 teaspoon of salt and pepper. And it calls for a pinch of thyme or rosemary. I'm going to use my thyme. And this is very pungent. I'm using a 1/2 teaspoon. I may go a little over. I may do about a 3/4 teaspoon of rosemary, of the thyme, pardon me. And we need 1 teaspoon of Dijon. I have Grey Poupon, so we're going to use what we have on hand. And measure out 1 teaspoon and get that into our bowl. That's just going to add to the flavor. Get that whisked together. All right, I put my croutons in 2 8x8 or 8x9 dishes to divide it up so we can have one for dinner tonight and one for another day. It can be an emergency meal or any other kind of meal. So what I'm going to do, and I did go ahead and add my 1/2 cup milk to this. I said I'm just not going to waste it. So we're going to go ahead and saturate our bread. get the other pan over here. And we're going to get it saturated as well. Dividing the mixture between the two. So that was about 2 cups. We know that the second one doesn't have near as much. So I'm going to go ahead and divide this up. So I've got about 2 cups in here. I'm going to get my ingredients. We're going to layer this with the ingredients, and then we're going to cover these and put them in the refrigerator for 30 minutes to overnight. I'm going to start with the bell peppers, and I'm just going to divide my skillet. So there it is, leftover ham, y'all. Nothing goes to waste. And about 1.5 cups of cheese between the two, so 3/4 of a cup of cheese between the two of them. And then some left to sprinkle over the tops when I'm ready to pull it out of the oven. So we're going to save a little bit of that cheese for today, and we're going to go ahead and we're going to mix our ingredients right here in our casserole dish. Just pushing them down in there and getting them all in that wonderful custard liquid. And you can see that the bread is already sopping up those extra eggs that I put in there. So I want it to have it a little more custard than the original recipe. You always make it your own. You don't like Swiss cheese or cheddar cheese? Try some Colby or some pepper jack if you like spice. Switch out the bell peppers for hot peppers if you want it really spicy. Just ways to make it your own. And we're going to get that all pushed down in there, in that liquid, and get it covered with some plastic wrap and into the refrigerator. And then when I come back, I'm going to preheat my oven, and we're going to bake this. I'm going to bake both of them at the same time, and one of them is going to go into the freezer. And I may have forgotten to mention that I have pre-greased my pans. So let me just make sure everything's pressed down in that liquid. Baby girl's impatient, y'all. This is an interactive video, meaning that I have included timestamps and recipes, plus how to store this in your freezer for freezer meals or MREs, meals ready to eat. And all the instructions will be there in the description box below. So I hope that you will stick around and you will check that out as well. While we're waiting for that strata to come together, I took a walk outside and look what I saw. Spring daffodils. While I'm waiting on it to bake, I wanted to talk to you about freezing this and how you would go about doing it. You want to make sure that you have baked it and you can have completely cooled it before you put it into the freezer. And the best part of this rescue is it is a massive yield. So I'm going to be freezing the rest of mine for an ultimate MRE fast food for a busy morning or busy day or for an emergency situation. You will want to wrap this tightly with plastic wrap or aluminum foil and put it into your freezer, and then when you're ready to use it, you want to thaw it in your refrigerator overnight. Make sure it's completely thawed before you bake it, and then you would follow the regular baking outline. You can actually do it in the air fryer, or you can do it in your oven, and I will put all of that in the description box below so that you won't miss anything. All right, this has been sitting for a while. I'm getting hungry, and I decided I was going to have some maybe for a late lunch and or early supper. And the bread has really sopped up all that excess egg and milk that I put in there. Can y'all see how good that looks? It's still got a little bit of egg in there. And one of these will end up in my freezer because I'm going to save one of these for a emergency freezer meal or just a quick meal for one night. So 350 degrees for 60 minutes. Oh my goodness, this looks so yummy, y'all. It's bubbly. I haven't even added the extra cheese on it yet, but it looks amazing. Savory. Oh my goodness, we saved that discarded sourdough loaf that was overproofed and turned it into something truly delicious. I'm just going to sprinkle the top of the one that we're going to eat right away, and the other one I'm going to leave like it is, and I'll add the cheese to it once it's reheated. So we're going to go ahead and just sprinkle this over the top, and that's going to give us a little extra cheese with this. Hillbilly Strata. Oh boy, cheesy, delicious. Turn my oven off. And we're going to cut into it. Oh my goodness, look at the layers in that. Doesn't that look scrumptious? The rest of that's going to be our supper tonight. I am going to grab that little bit there. Definitely some hillbilly heaven right here. And we salvaged that overproofed loaf of bread and made something wonderful. Actually, 2 meals for us. And it smells so savory and delicious. While it was cooking, I kept saying to myself, this smells so good. So we're just going to try a bite of that sourdough. mm. Mm. It's so good, y'all. Can't get over this. Mm. That's going to be my lunch. But easy peasy to put together. Make sure you bake it before you freeze it. Make sure you cover it good when you put it in the freezer. And then follow the heating instructions in the description box below the video. Will I be doing this with my overproofed bread in the future? Absolutely. And be on the lookout, because if I have another overproofed loaf, I may do something sweet with it. But this was perfect. The perfect combination of a overproofed sourdough bread that had 0 sugar in it. It had wild yeast into something savory for a breakfast or a supper. Y'all, I can't get over it. Thank you for coming along and being a part of my kitchen. Be blessed and a blessing. Here's some content I think you might like. Thank you for visiting our homestead. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, hype, and share to help our small channel grow. See you next time for more simple living, frugal tips, and farmyard fun.